Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Becoming Trusted by Your Teenager, where we work on thinking about what you can change instead of what your teenager can change. Because, as we all know, you can't control your teenager, you can only control yourself. So, I wanted to share about a discussion that we had in Team Trusted last week. But first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Team Trusted is. It is the program that I've built about helping you learn your blind spots, recognize ways to become trusted by your teenager. It's a companion to this podcast. If you listen to this podcast and you're like, yes, I love the snippets that are happening, I want to join the team. How do I sign up? Here's the deal. You can only sign up now through the Trusted Challenge. The Trusted Challenge is an introductory to Team Trusted. It is a 5-day challenge where you learn the basis, you learn the foundation, the principles. We talk, we practice some mindset shifts, because a big part of becoming trusted and learning and recognizing your blind spots and working on yourself, you have to believe that you could do it. So a lot of the Trusted Challenge is about believing in yourself, how to believe in yourself, how to kind of dream and plan ahead. And I decided I'm going to do the Trusted Challenge the first week of each month. So I did it the first week of August, and I'm going to do it the first week of September. And that often changes depending, but if you can roughly know that it's going to be the first week of each month, you can join the challenge. So right now, I'm going to leave a link to the challenge below. It's September 2nd is the start of the September 5-day challenge. It was fantastic when I did it last month for the first time live. I've done it before, but it wasn't live. It was pre-recorded. Bigger and better, had a bunch of people join the team. And what's really great now is when you join the team, we have a one-on-one onboarding call where I talk with you, I hear about what your goals are, we discuss how to implement them through everything that's inside of Team Trusted. So anyway, that was just a little introductory, but what happens inside of Team Trusted is gold. We get together as a team, as a group, we talk about the principles, we basically have a blind spot of the week. We talk about that blind spot. And last week, the blind spot that we talked about was getting your feelings hurt by your teenager. Raise your hand if you've ever had your feelings hurt by your teenager. It is painful. And so I recognize and validate, listen, you're going to get your feelings hurt by your teenager. Just know that. When you know that, maybe when it happens, it won't be so painful. When you know that other people are getting their feelings hurt by their teenager, it normalizes the challenge of getting your feelings hurt. So when we talk, so I love talking about this topic because this is my own personal, one of my biggest blind spots. I'm a very sensitive person. I do a lot for my kids. And when you do a lot, when you're an intentional mom, you kind of have high expectations that you're going to be automatically trusted, that you're going to have a great relationship, that you're going to be skipping off into the sunset. And that's not always the case. And it's a painful, harsh reality. So I think it's so important to talk about having your feelings hurt because it happens to the best of us. And I like to normalize the fact that it happens to the best of us. And inside of Team Trusted, I talk about specific instances where I've had my feelings hurt by my teenagers to normalize that. And then we all discuss, and then we're like, okay, we're not alone. So there's something magical that happens when you recognize that you're not alone. So but this is what I wanted to share. I had somebody made this comment that was just this, yes, I love it. And it's about chasing hits of joy. So it was in my one-on-one onboarding call. Somebody attended the challenge, came to the challenge, joined Team Trusted. We had our onboarding call. And in that call, we were talking about this. And then when they were in Team Trusted the next week, I brought it up because I thought it was such an important nugget that I think is so relatable to everyone. And it's about chasing hits of joy with your child, with your teenager. I love that description because we all do it. We're chasing hits of joy on a daily basis. We do things for our kids and we're chasing that hit of dopamine that's like, validation. Yes, my teenager loves me. They appreciate me. They are grateful, and it helps to keep going, right? When you don't receive those hits of joy, it's hard to keep going. It feels like an uphill battle. So I want to just dissect this and share a story. about myself growing up. And I don't remember how old I was. I want to say I was probably 13, a young, fresh teenager. I had said I was interested in this Mickey Mouse watch, which I laugh at today because I kind of don't love Disney. I think I can listen, I can appreciate if you love Disney. You're someone who goes once a year, maybe multiple times a year. I'm happy that that makes you happy. It surprises me because I would rather go so many other places. I've been to Disney World, I've been to Disneyland, I've taken my kids each to each of them once, but I'm someone who just prefers to go to a bunch of different, like, see new things as opposed to going to the same thing over and over. And I guess I'm like, it's an amusement park. I don't know. It's not the happiest place on earth for me. Anyway, I digress. So I had said I wanted this Mickey Mouse watch. I'd seen it. I don't know if I had a friend have it or what. And I had said that I wanted it for Christmas. And I was pretty sure I was going to get it for Christmas. But Christmas morning, as moms do, I don't know if you do, I've definitely done the same thing. Like, you give the little gifts, but you save the big gift for last. It's like it's almost like a surprise party. Like, you maybe want your kids to think that they're not going to get the thing that they wanted. So it's the surprise at the end. And so at the end of Christmas morning, my mom's like, hey, why don't you go check over here inside of this one thing? And so I opened it up, opened the gift. Sure enough, it was a Mickey watch, but guess what? It was the wrong color. It wasn't the color that I was expecting. I wanted the brown Mickey Mouse watch. It was brown with gold on it, and I was gifted the black with silver on it. So as you can imagine, my expectation of what I was hoping and dreaming for, and I was excited to get, wasn't what I had expected. It was a different color. I didn't really want that color. And I'm allowed to have that, right? That opinion. Does that make me ungrateful as a teenager? I don't think so. I don't think so then, and I don't think so now. And I remember my mom treating me like a big brat. I was so ungrateful. And these were comments that I feel like I got often. My favorite that I've said before, I bend over backwards and you don't, and what was it? You're so ungrateful. I bend over backwards for you, and this is how you treat me. And this is how you treat me was, I just didn't disclose information. I was a good kid. I came home on time. I didn't do bad things. I never drank. I never did things with my boyfriend that I wasn't supposed to. I was a good kid. And that was really painful. That felt very shameful. And that was shame that carried with me, that I talk a lot about inside of Team Trusted, where I didn't trust my mom because I felt that shame from her hurt feelings. So inside of Team Trusted, there's a whole module on hurt feelings. I share a lot of different, say this, not that, what it looks like, maybe some things that you're doing that you don't recognize. And this is one example. I'm checking my clock because I really want to try and make sure this is under 10 minutes. I love these 10-minute episodes. So that's something that I really identified. Like, I recognized I had some similar tendencies as a mom, and I saw myself doing some similar things, and I decided I don't want to be that mom. So I've always told my kids, listen, I get excited to surprise you, and I love surprising too. I love surprising, and my surprises aren't always met with the same excitement that I dreamed that they would be, right? We're chasing hits of joy. And so I've said to my kids, listen, I like to surprise, and if you don't like something that I surprise you with, I would rather you tell me than have it just sit in your closet and rot and never get used. I don't want you to have to feel like you have to take care of my emotions. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. I took a couple notes on this because I wanted to make sure I hit these points. It puts pressure on your teenager, right? When you chase these hits of joy, when you expect this grandiose gratitude, thankful, when your feelings get hurt, it seems like they're doing something wrong, when in reality, it's something you need to work on inside yourself. So it puts your pressure on your teenager. It's surface level validation. And I don't like to say this, fleeting moments of happy. I don't like to bring attention to the victim mentality very often, because it's a painful phrase that I've definitely had myself, and I know a lot of other people haven't. I don't want to come across as shaming, but when you can realize, when you're projecting your hurt feelings onto your teenager, when you're chasing these hits of joy, like I said, as we all do, it produces that victim mentality. And ultimately, it breaks trust with your teenager. You don't want them to be grateful for something because they want to take care of your feelings and your emotions. You want them to feel that gratitude, and they likely do feel that gratitude. Just because they don't want the color or something that you thought that they would love, if they don't love it as much as you thought they would, doesn't mean that they're ungrateful. And so That's the highlight of this episode today. I'm going to wrap it up because we're approaching the 10-minute mark. But you know what I would love to remind you is if you're willing to leave a review. So I do this on YouTube now, and I'm doing this on the podcast. If you're on the podcast, will you leave a review? Because I actually haven't had a review in a while because of this new style that I'm doing. So if you can leave a comment and say something that you love about the new episode, something that you love about learning about being trusted, and join the Trusted Challenge the first week of each month, I will leave the link for that. Thanks for being here. I love these little snippets. I will be back. Share this with your friends.